Welcome back to the Gallagher Partnership Podcast. My name is John Neshes. I'm the Director of Partnership Marketing and Content Development here at Gallagher. And from time to time, we like to check in with members of the different organizations that we're partnered with across our portfolio. And today, I am very happy to be talking to longtime announcer from the Jacksonville Jaguars, Brian Sexton. Brian, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, John, thanks for inviting me. It's an exciting time here in North Florida with this football team. And to be honest with you, I hope you have a lot of tape because we're going to talk a lot.
Nice. So one of the great things about seeing the Jaguars and their steady improvement over the last couple of years has been learning a little bit more about Duval and what a big part of the organization the community is to the success of the Jaguars, both on and off the field. And we hear the Duval chant. Tell me a little bit about that and what the Jaguars really mean to the Jacksonville community. Look, at Gallagher, we do a ton of work within the communities which we serve. And you can't help but notice and hear the chant.
Right.
And it's just become a more relevant area of the team over the last couple of years. Tell me a little bit about that.
All right. So to understand it fully, you have to understand that in the early years, the Jaguars tried to manufacture traditions, right? They tried to come up with chants and naming parts of the stadium, just to get fans involved, and it never took off. So the Duval chant came in about 2004. So, 10 seasons in, it evolved because there was a radio show here in town. And the radio show was an R&B hip-hop station. A lot of the players listened to it, and one of the DJs used it. And Paul Spicer, who was a defensive end from Saginaw Valley State, right? I mean, a small guy a guy from a small school that had just hooked on and became a fan favorite because he was sort of the upstart, right? He started cheering it and chanting it, and the teammates started grabbing onto it, and all of a sudden, it became about, the county, Duval. And it's not just Duval County in North Florida. It's Northeast Florida, St. John's, Nassau, Baker, Clay, the 5-county area. It's all Duval. So the reason that it's so important is we're such a small market. Jacksonville is the smallest market in the league. And people go, whoa, hold on. Green Bay. No. Green Bay has the entire state of Wisconsin, which includes Milwaukee, which is a major metropolitan area. You go a little south of here and you've got Orlando, right? But that's got Tampa 90 miles to the west. And that was a huge Dolphins area for the first 30 years of the Dolphins' existence. So we're kind of tucked up in here against the Atlantic Ocean and South Georgia and Falcons country. And, it had to evolve that this community and this team became, locked together, hand in glove. Because quite honestly, the numbers say that we need 1 out of every 15 people in North Florida to buy a ticket to get a game sold out. Now, you compare that with Chicago, which the last time I checked was like 1 in 102. Okay? So this community, small, it's lower revenue, obviously, than the Los Angeles, New York, Chicago markets. It had to overachieve. And people didn't like to hear that at first, but they get it now. So Duval encompasses the little engine that could. We are always fighting uphill some of these big markets and long-standing traditions and bigger fan bases. There was a moment where we tarped some seats back in 2003, 2004, because the population of the stadium was too big. There were too many seats. It was kept big for the Florida-Georgia game, and it was too big for an NFL game. And that was an embarrassment. I mean, people pointed their finger and they said, Jacksonville shouldn't have a team. How can you have a team if you can't fill it? Never mind, Chicago Stadium was 60,000 seats. And that's one of the bigger markets. And we're 77,000 at the time. And we're the smallest. Just people didn't care about the facts. So Duval symbolizes all of us here in North Florida and against the rest of the league, essentially, who kind of thought we didn't belong. Does that make sense? And in doing so, it gives us a chance, I believe, John, to someday be the Green Bay of the South, right? That one-horse town one sport where people can touch players, coaches, broadcasters. They can touch their franchise in a way that Giants fans and Los Angeles fans and Dallas fans really can't in those great big metropolitan areas. It feels like we're more a part of the community, those of us in the organization, than it probably does to people in those bigger markets, because they see us in line at Publix, they see us in the beach in the off season, they see us at their favorite restaurants. And so from that perspective, it's a small town collaborative effort to become a big league city. And you see some of the construction projects and some of the plans that Mr. Khan has, and you realize we're on our way.